I'm Stephanie from day 23 of the 30-day video challenge, and today I'm going to tell you how to begin the workflow and the process of creating a trip or a travel video that you intend to edit to music. So when you have a long trip, you have a whole bunch of footage, so you need to somehow begin with logically organizing that footage. I recommend importing it probably after each day of the trip. If it's just a one-day trip, then just throw it all in one folder. If it's any longer than that, I'd recommend doing... So the folder structure that I usually use is I'll have a base folder with the trip name, and then another folder that says footage, and this will make sense a bit later when you start seeing what other folders you create within the base folder for the trip. So a folder for footage, and then within that folder I would have day one and maybe a little bit of an explanation. So day one, Ayers Rock or something like that, just so you can easily identify kind of what you were doing on that day, and then put all the footage from that day into that folder and just continue that for each of the days of the trip. If you follow this pattern, you'll always know exactly where to go to get what you need for a specific day. When it's time for the actual edit, I wouldn't recommend choosing a song straight away. I'd recommend getting the clips in Premiere Pro and starting to sort through them. Some of the most important points when you're just starting out is to identify what the actual point of your video is. So is it just a video to send to friends so they can see how cool your trip was? Is it a opt-in video for some kind of travel blogging website? Is it some sort of epic extreme sports video? Any kind of guidelines that you can get on that they really help in the sort of style that you want to present it in, and also your music choice, which is one of the biggest factors. To start off with, for the editing process, I recommend making a new sequence in Premiere Pro, importing all of your footage in the files that you have. So make sure you've still got the base file of day one Ayers Rock, and then underneath that, or within that file, you have video and audio. What I usually do is click on start at the very top and just watch that clip and cut out any of the bits that are kind of visually appealing, exciting, any clips where you've got audio that you want to put in or where it shows something that you want to highlight. So I'll cut that little bit out and throw it into the timeline. And then for each clip following, I'll do exactly the same thing. So just cut out any of the visually appealing points and throw them into the timeline. Once you've done this, you'll have kind of a full timeline of just all these interesting sections of your footage. So it's kind of just like pulling out the best bits of your footage that you want to use in your end video. Not all of this will end up in your end video, so you don't have to be too... you don't have to curate this part too much. Just throw in anything that looks kind of cool. And then I generally tend to watch that over a couple of times, and from there I'll make my song choice because you get a really good feel of kind of the speed, the pacing of it, and what kind of feel the whole overall structure has. So from there I will make my song choice and throw it into the timeline. Then I'll copy that sequence, leave the original sequence that just has all the clips in it, and then start cutting the new sequence that I've made, just cutting out some of the boring parts, rearranging some of the clips to the music and seeing what works best. And from then, once you've got the kind of the base clips that you want to use in the music, it's just playing around. So you just switch things all around, try and make it look cool, and it really is just the more you play around with it, the better and better it gets. And there's no magical solution for that. You just kind of throw things in where it sounds cool with the music, and eventually it will look cool enough to show to all your friends. Oh yeah, this is going to be a video series, so tomorrow I'll be making more sense and showing you what it looks like within Premiere Pro and actually editing a trip video.